Ever since they added splash pads and growing together, I've been really wanting to build with them, but I've kind of had a hard time figuring out where to put them. I feel like it looks kind of weird when I just stick a splash pad in the backyard of some house that I built, so I've struggled to incorporate them into my regular builds, but I feel like they would be perfect for a pool. It kind of stinks that the only public splash pad is just in San Sequoia, so today I kind of want to build a pool splash pad combo lot and put it in Oasis Springs. If anywhere is gonna have some splash pad stuff, I feel like the desert probably needs it because it is hot here in Oasis Springs. I also despise the base game museum. This Futures Past lot I literally never come to, so I say we just bulldoze this thing and replace it with a pool. I guess this lot really isn't very big, but there's space for like a big pool. Maybe there could be some lounge chairs or some grills or something, the splash pad in a corner, and then maybe just like a small building because we need to have some bathrooms with showers, but we don't really need anything else indoors. Like the main priority here is the outside stuff. Okay, this'll work. Should we start with the splash pad items and like try and figure out how we're gonna put them together? Actually, we should start with pavement. Let's just put it everywhere. I think that I would like to have some fences around this place too. Maybe something kind of like this size would work well for the splash pad. And then the splash pad could back right up to the building because this is a pretty decent size. We could fit like some toilet stalls and some showers in here this way. Oh wait, these are like way more fun shape-wise. I don't know how to put them together. I don't know like what combination to do in here. I want to use the whale so bad, but it's actually huge. Like this takes up way more space than you think. Okay, what if we did it kind of like that so the whale is like centered? Does that look okay? With like a slightly different flooring and stuff. I feel like this might work. Now I'm kind of wondering if we should have at least some sort of cover. I don't think it needs to be that big, like maybe it was a little excessively long, but I wonder if some sort of cover would be good because it's nice to have shade, especially in a place like this. In real life, you have to have fences around this sort of thing because it's not safe to just have it like open, but now is the pool too small? It's always harder than I think it will be to do this sort of thing. It's like, it seems easy in practice and then you actually start trying to do it and you realize that, you know what, maybe it's not. Maybe, in fact, this is actually really difficult to figure out. What colors does this come in? Because I really want to have some kind of fun, like brightly colored stuff. Something that maybe matches this vibe a little bit. The problem is, I don't think it really comes in the same colors. I do like how those umbrellas look though. Oh, but there's like kind of fun chair colors. Should we do that? And then have like plain umbrella? No, I think that the white chairs are probably better. Get Together actually has a couple like pool related decor items. I don't know if it would be so weird to hang that up on this fence. And then we need some sort of sign or something. Oh, that mural actually is kind of good vibes. Maybe we could use that. The color scheme matches. We need something on this wall because I don't really want to put windows there because this is just going to be a bathroom. So you don't want to have like windows from the bathroom into the splash pad. Maybe we should figure out this bathroom layout first. Definitely thinking that we should do some toilet stalls, but maybe we could have some sort of separation kind of like this. So that way there's showers like kind of around the back corner. So it's not just like out in front of everything. I guess we could do open showers kind of like this. But then again, like these showers, your Sims will also use in public. Like you don't need to have anything in the way and it'll be fine. So I guess I'm just not really sure what is better. This does feel kind of like our chance to use this tile. It looks like this vibe, doesn't it? When else are we gonna use it if not now? Do you know what? I say that and then I use this shade of this tile like all the time. So maybe our chance to use this tile is always. Clearly, I just don't know what I'm saying because I am literally always using that shade. I just really like it. It's so dramatic, this tile. We could do like one small window right there. So there is a window and then maybe the door could be like right here. Actually, the growing together one might work really well for this because it even comes in like kind of fun colors. It has that yellow swatch. The blue kind of matches better though. We can put some lockers here by the entrance when you first walk in, and then the sinks can be along this wall. Can we use the little fishbowl like a sign? I don't think I like that. It is kind of a funny logo though. I think I might be worrying about this a little bit too much. Like I maybe am kind of overthinking this bathroom situation, but I just want it to be cool and realistic. I think I like those showers like that. I want to put a towel shelf, but this one still does not come in all white. So maybe I could use this towel shelf. Well, at least they finally fixed the slots on these because back in the day, and by that I mean literally up until like 1 month month ago, there wasn't a slot on the top shelf. There was a slot on the bottom shelf and a slot on the top, but there wasn't a slot on this top shelf. So if you wanted to put towels on the whole thing, you couldn't put them on the top shelf. They finally fixed that, so at least it works a little bit better now. I think I'd like to try and use some gravel to do landscaping. I don't know if I want to put it everywhere, but I like the idea of having some little gravel landscape sections. I've done this before where I use these little plants and put them in some gravel. I feel like that fits with the desert vibe, but I guess we could really easily use some of these type of plants. We could also put palm trees. Oh, that's very big. I didn't realize like how big the base was of that. The palm trees just look so tall and the building is so short and like the whole lot is so short. Maybe I could use some real bushes. It would really help this lot to have some more greenery. You know, we've done a whole lot of planning and not a lot of actually placing of all of this splash pad stuff, so maybe I should start there quickly. It would probably benefit us just to be sure that there's actually space for all these splash pad things. How do we feel about something like this? I feel like the leaves are kind of out of place. I do like them, but they just kind of feel random to me. But this way we have like the one big one. We have this smaller one here. Maybe I could put another smaller one over here. I kind of want to bring a sim so I can test it. It's hard in build mode because you can't actually see what it looks like. Nancy, do you want to be my test sim today? Let me turn on all of these water emitters just so we can see what they look like. Oh, that's kind of cute. Oh, it looks way better when it's actually like running. Okay, I think we can work with that. Oh my gosh, I just found this swatch of these super cute lanterns and it totally matches what we're going for with this. It just kind of changes the vibe because, well, number one, they're too tall. And we also have to make this like covered part smaller. Now there's like no covered part altogether. Okay, hold on. Let me think about this again. This would be so cute. I just have to figure out what to do about the umbrellas because they're kind of like slightly too close. I also just had an idea that maybe I could use some of the slat wall things from Eco Lifestyle just to make this part look a little bit more interesting. So I'm placing them on the wall and now I'm gonna delete the wall. So that way there's like a fake wall almost holding this roof up. I feel like that actually looks really cool and we can make them white so they match the rest of the building better. Oh yeah, that's like a huge improvement. Oh no. I was just thinking maybe I could put a column here because I don't like the color of this. Like I don't really like the color of the pole. I cannot put a column there, so that's no good. This one doesn't even have swatches. Why doesn't it have swatches? This version does, but I don't want that. I think City Living had a pole like that, but the problem is I don't really think that it matches the style. Yeah, and it's like not big enough to cover it. Oh my God. As soon as you get an idea, the Sims team just comes and crushes it right back down. That's the problem with the swatches in this game. It's like, it's all fun and games until you try and make stuff match, and then too bad. It doesn't work. All right, maybe we give that wooden color a shot. It might work if we do it on purpose. I can try and use some wood on the base of these like little planter boxes as well. Of course it's a different color wood because why would it be the same? It looks like it would be the same, but it's not the same. All three of these are different colors of yellow toned wood. I really want to paint most of the building a kind of fun color, but I don't think that this tone of like neon blue, I don't think that it really matches this. It doesn't even match the color on the floor, to be honest. I want it to be something sort of similar to this color. This is like a slightly more sea foamy color. Oh, I think I like that. Okay, I don't know if I like how it looks when it's next to this concrete. Well, that's not any better. That's just another different shade of the same color. Does it really matter though, if there's like a lot of teal happening in the back? Maybe I should just leave it. I'm putting a couple benches around the place too, because that helps. I mean, it's a different color of wood again, but it maybe helps like bring some more seating and kind of tie the whole place together. Plus there's some benches back here now, so that way the parents can watch the kids play. We need to put some dining chairs and dining tables around. So I wonder if we could maybe try and use these, but in like a pink and yellow swatch, because that way we can tie in more of this. There's a lot of pink over here and none over here. We have the blue and we have the yellow. I don't really think that there's a pink umbrella, otherwise I would use that. Yeah, even this, like that's not really pink. Maybe I could just try and put a couple dining tables there. I actually think that kind of makes sense, and it brings some of the pink. It's not a lot of pink, but it's a little bit. And then there could be a couple more tables and chairs. Maybe one grill as well, so in case you wanted to cook dinner or something here. Oh, I don't like these chairs. There's a pig chair. That could work. No, I'm kidding. I don't think that's gonna work. We probably shouldn't use the pig chair. I don't know. I feel like all of the pink options are just not, it's like either the color is right, but the style is wrong, or vice versa, so I don't really know what to do. That's not pink, that's just peach. I do kind of like these metal chairs though. I feel a little bit tempted to use those. That's what you really need in the weather like this here in the desert, is a metal chair for your Sims to sit on. That'll be perfect. Nice and toasty. It'll help dry you off from the pool, you know? Sitting on burning hot metal that's just been in the sun all day. Oh, wait a minute, hold on. I wonder if we could try and make some sort of like custom sign, and maybe that's where the pink could go. Okay, honestly, I don't hate that. I mean, I don't love it either, but I don't hate it. Does that look like a public pool sign? I don't really know. I'm not really sure. It does help though, because it brings the pink towards the front. I just feel like this entry is kind of weird now. Oh, this fits perfectly. Should I try and do that and have more lights in the front? I really like these lights. I think they're super cute with the flowers. I'm kind of trying to think right now about ways that I can make this side of this building more interesting to look at also, because there's really not a lot going on over here. I think that maybe some sort of paneling like that might help. We could probably do the same thing in the back again, just to help give some visual interest to what is otherwise a giant box with no windows, because we can't really put windows on it. It's the bathroom. Like, I don't want to have a window in this shower. I mean, we could put a window in the shower, but like, probably not. Okay, I'm kind of obsessed with that. Like those little plants outside of the window right there. It looks cool from the other side too. So we can just try and place some little deserty plants around. I think that'll help. Maybe using a slightly more beige gravel for the outside might help too. It looks a little bit more natural that way. Those things wouldn't get that big, would they? Should I do them smaller? I have not got the slightest clue how to landscape this. I've tried like 4 things. I really like how the whole place is coming together. It's just like the landscaping that I'm not so sure of. Palm trees. What we need is more palm trees. Maybe there could be like a little section over here with some bushes in the back as well. Okay, this part's fine. The front is not. The front, I'm really not sure about. I kind of like having just the bush here in front of this part, so I don't really want to bring it all the way down. I'm gonna go look in debug and see what I can find. I'm hoping that maybe there's some sort of pillar or something from debug that might help me also. Cause like even this on the edges of that little wall makes a huge difference. Like that just changed the game. It looks way more intentional now. The color actually works pretty well too. Oh, this is like a twisty post. It's not even straight. Okay, well, never mind. No, I wish that this part was like not in the middle of the fence. It being in the middle of this fence post, this is really bothering me. That's why I want it to be white. I was trying not to use too many packs, but you know what? This island living palm tree is just too good to pass up. It makes such a big difference. We need like things lower to the ground because these palm trees are so cute and they match the other ones, but they're also so tall so that when you're looking at the lot on eye level, it just doesn't fit. In my humble opinion, these island living ones are the best palm trees in the whole game. I just like them a lot. Are they too like samey to use 3? Maybe. Maybe a little bit. Oh, you know what? We could probably put a gate over here. I feel like it makes sense to have a gate into the splash pad area, and that kind of helps to break up this back corner. How do we feel about this landscaping? I have a hard time with desert builds, so I'm not sure like where the line is, but I really like this lot. I feel like I'll get a lot of use out of this lot. The only thing I haven't really touched yet is the pool, which is actually the main part of the whole build. So let's think about that for a second. I'm gonna put a second ladder on the other side. We're gonna wanna have some lights in the pool. Probably not too many, but enough that it, you know, kind of lights it up a little bit at night, something like that. And should we put one of those dive boards in too? I don't really know where I'd put this because I feel like I didn't really leave a lot of walking space. Maybe the dive board would be good over here because there's kind of like an open corner so your Sims can jump in from there. And maybe I get another pool ladder kind of right here by the front. Okay, you know what? I think that makes sense. There's a ladder on both sides. There's a dive board. Part of me wants to put a pool floaty in or even like 2 pool floaties in, but I can't tell if that's too much or not. Oh, but the polka dots. Oh, I have to use it. That actually gives us some more pink. So it kind of brings the pink onto the other side too. Maybe the build is done then. Oh, I kind of like how this turned out. I'm excited about it. Oasis Springs pool. I'm sorry that I used a lot of packs. I feel kind of guilty about that, but I'm putting it on the gallery. I'm really happy with with how it turned out. What did I use from the pastel pop kit? Oh, the wallpaper. How did I manage that? Oh, it was the pink. Oh, okay, never mind. That's fine. I stand behind that. I was like, when did I use a kit? I know I used a lot of seasons and growing together and stuff, but a kit, really? This light is from Dine Out. You know, there's like city living chairs, but it's cute. And that's all that matters. This is gonna be a fun place to come visit. So hopefully you guys get some use out of this with your Sims. Nancy, do you wanna come test it out? Oh, look at her go. She loves it. Oh, somebody's gonna dive. Don't flop. Oh, wow, that was actually impressive. Okay, I'm glad I built this. I've been sitting on this idea ever since Growing Together came out. I finally did it. And just in time for summer. Not that it matters for your Sims. I mean, like... the seasons go by very quickly in this game. Quick overview of the whole lot. This is what the finished product looks like. This part's kind of weird, but I actually kind of like it. There's a slight covered area. The bathrooms obviously have toilets and lockers and some showers. There's plenty of space for the little kids. We've got a big pool so your Sims can swim and dive. We got lounge chairs. You can sunbathe. You can also grill if you wanted to cook lunch here or whatever. I didn't forget a trash can, don't worry. And that's pretty much everything. I mean, it's not really like the biggest lot. I think on that note though, I'm gonna end the video right here. I hope that you enjoyed it. It's Mother's Day today in the US, so happy Mother's Day to my mom because I know she's watching this, and also of course to all of you, and I'm gonna catch you all tomorrow. Okay, bye everybody. Oh my god, I forgot to move my Rick cardboard cutout again. You're probably like staring at that thing on the floor being like, what is that guy laying behind her? It's a cardboard cutout of Rick Astley.